Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2009 Toyota Camry LE 2.4 liter automatic. Car came in, sounds like the brakes are grinding, just even moving. So if you hear this sound, without even stepping the brake, that's an indication of your brakes are worn out. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. A hood prop, rubber mallet, 14mm wrench, 8mm wrench, flat tip screwdriver, air gun. This is my caliper piston compressor, Phoenix brake bleeder, brake clean, suction ball, bottle of water with a hole on the top, anti-seize, and some ceramic grease. These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. Rear brake pads, rear rotors, and dot 3 brake fluid. Okay, if you notice, this brake rotor is grinding metal to metal. It should look like that, nice and smooth. So I'm going to show you how to replace the rear brake pads and rotors. Okay, first I'm going to be removing this rubber cap from the bleeder screw. Okay, so I'm going to be loosening up the bleeder screw. So I'm going to be removing this caliper. There's two bolts, one here and one here. So I'm going to be removing it. So removing the caliper. Oh, this pad is all wiped out. Grinding metal to metal. So I'm going to be removing this caliper mount. There's two bolts, one here and one here. They're both 14mm. So removing my rotor. So I'm going to be compressing my piston using my piston compressor. So I'm going to be opening up the bleeder screw so all the dirty fluid can come out. You don't want that dirty fluid to go up to your master. Okay, and just lock up the bleeder screw. So I'm going to be transferring this plug to the new rotor. Okay. So I'm going to be cleaning this rotor. I'm going to be using some brake clean. Getting off the oil. If you notice, this is a coated rotor. What's going to happen is when you first start braking, you're going to hear a grinding sound. That's all this coating that's coming off. That's normal. After a few miles, that noise is going to go away, and then you'll be all good to go. Okay, so before I put my rotor on, I'm going to be putting some anti-seize around my hub. Putting on my rotor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the emergency brake. Right now this guy feels kind of loose. So now is the time to adjust it. There's a star adjuster under here. I'm just going to turn it to expand the shoe and then fit the rotor on. You gotta get a real slight drag. A little tighter. Okay, that feels good. Okay. So I'm gonna be greasing up my pins. Okay, wiping these guys with my small screwdriver. Put a little bit of grease right in here. Okay, so I'm going to grease up my pins. Okay, so I'm going to be greasing up my hardware in the kit. It comes with new hardware. A lot of times if you try to use the new hardware, it doesn't fit good and wants to fall off. So if you can, reuse your old hardware as long as it's not broken. Nothing wrong with reusing your old hardware. So we're going to be putting on the mount. And tightening it up. Okay, so I'm going to be putting on these metal, I guess you could call it like springs or wear indicators. These came in the kit. The old ones was all rotten and some of them was broken. So you just clip it on. Okay, so on this one, the rotor is spinning clockwise. So we're going to put this on the leading edge. So this one is going on the bottom. Put a little grease on the back of this pad. Greasing up my caliper. Put some on the piston. Some on the caliper. Installing the caliper. Putting these two bolts on. And tightening them up. So now we're going to be flushing out the brakes. So I'm going to be removing the brake fluid. So there's a screen in here, you got to take it out. And just remove as much as you can. So I'm going to be flushing out the brake system. I'm going to be using a Phoenix brake flusher. So I'm going to be pumping fresh fluid from the caliper up to the master. So I'm going to be opening up my bleeder screw. Connecting my Phoenix brake flusher. Now I'm going to be pumping fresh fluid. Takes about half a bottle per wheel. So lock it up. So I'm gonna be removing the old brake fluid. So I'm gonna be filling up my master. So now we're gonna be bleeding the brakes, making sure there's no air in the system. Don't forget to put back your screen and put the cap on. So now I'm going to be starting up the vehicle. Pumping my brake pedal up and down, no more than halfway, until you feel pressure. Okay, that feels good. Now with my hood prop, I'm going to be pressurizing the brake system, one side against the brake pedal, the other side against the seat. So I'm going to be bleeding the brakes, opening up my bleeder screw. That looks good, no air inside. So to lock them up, okay. Put some water on. Brake fluid is water soluble. And then with my air hose, just blow it down, dry it up. Now I'm going to pressurize my brake system again. Hold it for about 15-20 seconds and then check for leaks. Okay. So we're checking for leaks. Everything looks nice and dry. Put back the rubber cap and you're good to go. So that's how you replace rear brake pads and rear rotors. If you have any questions, comment below. Make sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and I see you in the next video. Aloha.